The world often celebrates the crowd, the team, the tribe, those who gather in numbers, who find strength in the noise and safety in the many. But today I want to talk about a force rarely understood, often underestimated, yet undeniably powerful: the loner. There's a dangerous power in standing alone, not the kind bred from loneliness or fear, but the kind forged in solitude, sharpened by self-reliance, and tempered through the fires of inner battle. The loner walks a path that few dare to tread, a path where distractions fall away and truth begins to rise. This is not isolation for isolation's sake. It is the deliberate act of stepping away from the clamor to discover the raw, unfiltered essence of oneself. And when that essence is awakened, the power it unleashes can move mountains, shatter chains, and reshape destinies. To be a loner is to be a warrior of the mind, a silent storm gathering strength in the stillness. It is to trust yourself so deeply that you no longer seek validation from others, no longer depend on the comfort of consensus. This independence is not born of arrogance, but of clarity. It is the clarity that comes from looking inward, from wrestling with your own fears, desires, and doubts, until you strip away the illusions others cling to. The loner is not alone because the world has rejected them. They have chosen solitude as a crucible of transformation. And in that crucible, they forge a will that cannot be broken, a vision that cannot be swayed. This power is dangerous, not because it seeks to destroy, but because it stands unmoved by the forces that break others. In a world that often confuses noise for progress and popularity for strength, the loner moves with quiet precision. While others chase approval, the loner hones skills unseen, cultivates wisdom unheard, and plans battles unwitnessed. This patience, this deliberate silence, is a weapon as sharp as any sword. The loner understands that true power lies not in spectacle, but in mastery. Mastery of self, of discipline, and of purpose. When you stand alone, you face your true nature without distraction. You confront every weakness, every failure, and every shadow within. And through this confrontation, something rare and profound happens. You become whole. You become your own master, no longer tethered to the fleeting opinions or expectations of the crowd. But beware, the path of the loner is not for the faint-hearted. It demands sacrifice, the sacrifice of comfort, of certainty, and often of companionship. It requires a heart that can bear silence when others shout, a mind that can navigate darkness when others seek only light. This solitude is a test, a trial by fire. Many who walk it falter, for the mind is a wild battlefield where doubt and fear wage endless war. Yet those who endure emerge stronger, their spirit honed like the finest blade. They do not seek to fit into the world's mold, because they understand that the world will bend to the strength of those who refuse to bend. The loner's power lies in this refusal, this unyielding commitment to walk their path, no matter how treacherous or lonely. The loner is often misunderstood, feared even. Society prefers conformity, the safety of the pack. But the loner's power is a threat to this safety, a disruption to the comfortable order. The loner's independence exposes the fragility beneath the crowd's confidence. Their presence reminds others that strength need not come from numbers or noise. It can come from within, from a single soul standing firm. The dangerous power of the loner lies in this truth: one person, truly alone, can change the course of history. This is not a tale of rebellion for rebellion's sake, but a story of transformation through solitude, where the quiet mind becomes a force louder than any army. To embrace the dangerous power of the loner is to embrace a way of life that many fear. It is to step away from distractions, from the need to be seen or liked, and to face the world armed only with your own resolve. This is a radical act in a world that demands constant connection, constant affirmation. But in that radical act lies freedom. freedom from the chains of expectation, from the tyranny of the crowd, from the endless noise that dulls the spirit. The loner finds strength not in what others give, but in what they claim for themselves, their focus, their discipline, their vision. This power, once awakened, can move through the world unseen, unstoppable, undeniable. And so I challenge you, do not fear solitude. Do not fear the path that leads away from the masses, for in solitude you will meet your truest self, the self unmasked and unafraid. You will find a power that is not flashy but steady, not loud but commanding. The power that comes from standing alone is dangerous, because it cannot be bargained with, it cannot be broken, and it will not be ignored. This power will carve your path through stone and silence, leaving behind a legacy forged in the quiet fire of independence. The loner is not lost. They are found. Found in their strength, found in their purpose, found in the dangerous, unstoppable power of standing alone. To walk alone is to accept a burden few understand, the burden of absolute responsibility. When you rely only on yourself, there is no one else to blame, no safety net to catch you if you fall. Every decision, every step, every success and failure rests squarely on your shoulders. This weight is heavy, but it is also the source of the loner's greatest strength. It sharpens the mind and steels the heart, because you learn quickly that excuses hold no power and distractions are deadly. The world's noise fades away, leaving only what truly matters: your vision, your craft, your will. In that silence, you grow sharper, clearer, more focused than those who drown themselves in the comfort of the crowd. The loner is a master of patience. They understand the value of waiting, watching, learning, while others rush headlong into chaos, seeking quick victories or empty praise. The loner builds quietly, laying foundations others cannot see. They prepare not for applause, but for the inevitable challenges that life will bring. This preparation is not flashy, it is slow and steady, like the calm before a storm. It is this patience, this quiet resolve, that makes the loner dangerous. When the moment arrives, they strike with a force and precision that leaves others stunned. This is the power of being alone, the power to wait, to watch, and to act only when the time is right. There is also a sacred freedom in being a loner, free from the chains of expectation, free from the need to conform, free from the endless compromise that binds so many. The loner walks their own path, unburdened by the opinions or judgments of others. This freedom, however, is not granted, it is earned through sacrifice and discipline. It requires a mind that can face silence without breaking, a soul that can endure loneliness without despair. But once earned, this freedom is absolute. It allows the loner to move through life unshackled, to pursue their goals with a clarity and intensity that others can only envy. It is this freedom that makes the loner's power truly dangerous, because it is a power no one else can take away. Yet the loner is not a figure of cold isolation or bitterness. Within that solitude lies a deep well of creativity, insight, and self-awareness. When you remove the distractions of the crowd, you hear the whispers of your own mind. You discover ideas, truths, and strengths that are invisible in noise. The loner learns to listen, not just to the world, but to the quiet voice inside. This listening opens doors to wisdom few ever find. It allows the loner to see paths and possibilities hidden to others. This inner clarity turns the loner into a strategist, a thinker, a visionary. And in a world that rewards conformity and punishes originality, this makes the loner a formidable force, dangerous not because they are loud, but because they are wise. The dangerous power of the loner also comes from their ability to adapt and survive. Alone, you cannot rely on others to shield you from hardship or carry you through storms. You must become resilient, bending without breaking, learning without faltering. moving forward no matter the cost. This resilience is a weapon forged in solitude, tested in silence, and proven in struggle. It teaches the loner to embrace change rather than fear it, to find opportunity in adversity, and to turn setbacks into fuel for growth. This adaptability makes the loner unpredictable and unstoppable. They are a force that cannot be easily pinned down, controlled, or defeated, because their power comes from within and from the unshakable belief that they alone hold their destiny. So, what does this mean for you? It means that the power to stand alone, to walk your own path, to trust your own strength, is within reach. It is not a path for everyone, but it is a path for those willing to embrace discomfort, to face uncertainty, and to wield solitude as a tool rather than a punishment. If you choose this path, you will learn to silence the noise, to see through the illusions, and to sharpen your focus until your purpose becomes clear as a blade's edge. You will discover a power that cannot be bought, borrowed, or stolen, only earned through the relentless pursuit of self-mastery. This power is dangerous because it breaks the mold, it challenges the status quo, and it creates leaders who need no one's approval to rise. Embrace the dangerous power of the loner not as a curse, but as a gift that few can understand and fewer still can wield. Stand tall in your solitude. Find strength in your silence. Let your journey be one of fierce independence and quiet mastery. For when you stand alone, you are not weak, you are unstoppable. And in that unshakable solitude lies the power to change not only your own life, but the world around you, in ways the crowd could never imagine. There is a deep wisdom in walking alone, a wisdom born not from books or teachers, but from direct experience with one's own spirit. When you stand apart from the crowd, you see the world in sharper contrast. Its illusions, its distractions, and its empty promises. The loner becomes a mirror, reflecting what others refuse to face, their weaknesses, their compromises, their fears. But instead of retreating in fear, the loner confronts these truths head-on, forging clarity through brutal honesty with themselves. This self-awareness is a powerful weapon because it frees you from the deception that binds others. While they remain caught in illusions, the loner moves with clear purpose, guided by an inner compass that no external force can sway. This clarity also breeds courage, not the reckless kind, but a quiet, unyielding courage that arises when you no longer fear judgment or rejection. When you stop seeking approval, you stop fearing loss. This courage is the lifeblood of the loner's power. It allows them to face challenges others avoid, to take risks others refuse, and to hold their ground when others flee. This is why the loner is dangerous, because they operate outside the conventional rules and expectations. They do not bend to peer pressure or social norms. Instead, they create their own rules, carving their own path through the wilderness. This independence unsettles those who rely on conformity for safety, making the loner a catalyst for change simply by existing. Yet, the loner's power is not only in defiance or independence, it is also found in their ability to observe deeply and act decisively. Without the distractions of social noise, the loner becomes a keen observer of people and situations, able to read intentions and weaknesses with precision. This insight makes them formidable, not because they seek conflict, but because they are prepared for it. They strike only when necessary, but when they do, their actions are swift and effective, leaving no room for doubt or hesitation. This combination of patience, observation, and decisive action is a hallmark of the loner's dangerous power. It is a power built on discipline, not impulse, strategy, not chaos. Moreover, the loner cultivates a unique kind of resilience that stems from solitude. When you are alone, you face the raw elements of life without distraction. You experience pain, failure, and doubt in their purest forms. There is no one to share the burden, no one to soften the blow. But this harsh reality becomes a forge for strength. The loner learns to endure, to rise again and again, not because they have a crowd behind them, but because their spirit refuses to break. This resilience is contagious. It radiates from the learner and challenges others to find their own strength. The loner's power is dangerous because it reveals a fundamental truth, that true strength comes not from external support, but from an unbreakable inner will. The dangerous power of the loner also lies in their capacity for innovation. Free from the constraints of groupthink, the loner can explore ideas and paths others fear or ignore. This freedom sparks creativity and original thinking. The loner does not follow the beaten path. They forge new ones. Their innovations may seem strange or unsettling at first, but they carry the seeds of transformation. History is filled with examples of individuals who, through solitude and independence, changed the world with ideas that others dismissed. The loner's power is dangerous because it disrupts the familiar, challenges the comfortable, and invites growth through discomfort. And so, to those who fear solitude, I say this: solitude is not a prison, but a battlefield and a sanctuary. It is where you confront your greatest enemy, yourself, and where you discover your greatest ally. The loner's journey is not easy, but it is profound. It strips away the superficial and reveals what is real and lasting. This journey awakens a power that cannot be replicated or replaced, a power that stands firm amid chaos and calm alike. The dangerous power of the loner is a force of nature, silent, steady, and unstoppable. It is the power to be fully, unapologetically yourself, and in doing so, to change everything around you without ever needing a crowd behind you. You must understand this. The power of the loner does not come from rejection of others, but from a deeper connection to self. It is a connection that allows you to stand firm in your values and vision when the world demands conformity. It is a power born of self-mastery, discipline, and a relentless pursuit of truth. The loner does not fear the unknown because they have ventured into it within themselves. They have wrestled with their shadows and emerged not broken, but stronger. This strength is dangerous because it cannot be controlled or contained. It moves quietly, steadily, like a river cutting through rock, reshaping the world not by force alone, but by persistence and purpose. So if you find yourself drawn to solitude, do not shy away from it. Embrace it as a path to power. Let the silence teach you. Let the solitude shape you. Let the dangerous power of the loner awaken within you, the strength to stand alone, and the courage to walk your own path, no matter how narrow or lonely it may seem. Because in that power lies freedom, freedom from fear, freedom from dependence, freedom to become the master of your own destiny. The world may never fully understand the loner, but the loner does not need understanding. They only need conviction. And with conviction they become unstoppable. This journey of the loner is not marked by applause or validation, but by quiet victories. Moments when you conquer your own doubts, when you choose discipline over comfort, when you act with integrity even if no one is watching. These victories may go unnoticed by the world, but they shape a character that is unyielding and fierce. The loner learns to find satisfaction not in external rewards, but in the strength of their own spirit. This internal validation becomes a fortress, shielding them from the distractions and storms that buffet those who rely on others for affirmation. The dangerous power of the loner grows in this solitude, nurtured by every challenge faced and every fear overcome. Moreover, the loner becomes a master of focus, a rare commodity in a world addicted to distraction. When you walk alone, you are forced to cultivate concentration, to direct your energy and attention with precision. The crowd pulls in 1,000 directions, scattering will and purpose. The loner, however, learns to harness the full force of their mind toward a single goal, cutting through confusion like a blade through silk. This focused energy is explosive. It allows the loner to move faster, think clearer, and strike harder than those distracted by the noise of others. This singular focus makes the loner dangerous, not reckless, but relentless and unstoppable. In addition, The loner develops a profound self-reliance that few ever attain. In solitude, you learn to depend not on luck, circumstance, or others, but on your own abilities, judgment, and resilience. This self-reliance breeds confidence that is not boastful but quietly unshakable. It allows the loner to face uncertainty without hesitation, to rise after failure without despair, and to pursue their vision without apology. This confidence is infectious and intimidating. It commands respect without demanding it, and creates a presence that cannot be ignored. The dangerous power of the loner lies in this quiet confidence, a power that unsettles the complacent and inspires the bold. But perhaps most importantly, the loner understands the power of choice. Alone, there is no one to make decisions for you, no one to dictate your path. This freedom to choose is both a privilege and a responsibility. It forces you to examine your values, your goals, and your purpose with brutal honesty. The loner learns to choose deliberately, to act with intention, and to accept the consequences of their choices without blame or regret. This mastery of choice transforms the loner into a creator of their own destiny. It is this ability to choose and act with clarity that makes the loner's power so dangerous, because it is a power that shapes reality, not just reacts to it. So, if you feel the pull of solitude, the call to walk your own path, know that you are stepping into a dangerous power, a power that many fear but few understand. It is a power that demands courage, discipline, and sacrifice. It is a power that challenges the status quo and breaks the chains of dependence. But above all, it is a power that frees you to become the fullest expression of yourself. The dangerous power of the loner is not a curse but a gift that will transform you, sharpen you, and set you apart. Embrace it with open arms, walk boldly into the silence, and let your journey alone become the story that changes everything. To truly harness this dangerous power, you must first embrace discomfort. The loner knows that growth never happens in comfort zones. Solitude can be heavy, silence can be deafening, and the absence of external validation can feel like a void. But it is in this very discomfort that transformation takes root. When you face your own fears without distraction, when you wrestle with your own limitations without excuses, you cultivate a resilience that cannot be forged in any other way. The loner does not avoid discomfort. They walk toward it with eyes wide open, knowing that on the other side lies strength, clarity, and freedom. This willingness to endure discomfort also sharpens discernment. The loner learns to see through illusion and deception, not just in the world, but within themselves. Without the distraction of others' opinions, you become brutally honest about your motives, your weaknesses, and your true desires. This clarity is a double-edged sword, cutting away what is false and revealing what is essential. It may isolate you further, but it also frees you from the lies that keep many trapped. The loner's power comes from this relentless pursuit of truth, no matter how painful, no matter how lonely. It is a dangerous power because it refuses to settle for anything less than authenticity. The loner's path also demands fierce independence, not only from others, but from one's own fears and doubts. You learn to trust your instincts and judgments, even when they contradict popular belief or conventional wisdom. This independence is not stubbornness, but a deep-rooted confidence in your own experience and insight. It allows you to move through life on your own terms, guided by an internal compass that never wavers. This self-trust is the cornerstone of the loner's dangerous power. It protects you from manipulation, from conformity, and from the paralysis of second-guessing. When you trust yourself fully, you become unstoppable. In the end, the dangerous power of the loner lies in the way they redefine strength. Strength is not measured by numbers or noise, but by the depth of character, the clarity of purpose, and the courage to stand alone. The loner embodies a strength that is quiet yet unyielding, humble yet commanding, patient yet fierce. This strength commands respect without demanding it, and changes the world not through force but through presence. The loner's power is dangerous because it cannot be contained or controlled. It flows from within, growing silently, steadily, until it becomes a force that no obstacle can withstand. So, embrace your solitude. Let the silence be your teacher, your forge, your ally. Walk the path of the loner with courage and conviction, knowing that you are stepping into a power few understand but many fear. This power will challenge you, change you, and ultimately free you. It will make you a force of nature. Quiet, steady, and unstoppable. The dangerous power of the loner is not just a way of being, it is a way of becoming. And in becoming the loner, you become a master of your own fate, a creator of your own destiny, and a force that the world cannot ignore. Now, hear me clearly. To stand alone is not to be lost, it is to be found. In the depths of solitude, when the world's noise falls away and the shadows grow long, you will meet yourself, the true self, unmasked and unafraid. This meeting may be the hardest battle you ever face, but it is also the most profound victory you will ever claim. Because when you embrace your aloneness, you embrace your power. You become the master of your mind, the commander of your spirit, the architect of your own destiny. No longer tethered by the need for approval or the fear of rejection, you stand unshakable, unbreakable. Remember, greatness has never been born from comfort zones or crowds. It is born from the courage to walk the lonely path, to fight the silent wars within, and to rise every time you fall. The loner's journey is one of sacrifice, yes, but also one of unparalleled strength, clarity, and freedom. You hold within you a flame that cannot be extinguished by doubt, distraction, or despair. Let that flame burn bright. Let it guide you through the darkest nights, and let it forge a legacy no storm can erase. So step forward boldly, knowing that your power is dangerous precisely because it is real. You are the quiet storm, the silent force, the unstoppable will. Stand alone, not in fear but in fierce, unyielding strength, and watch how the world bends to your resolve. Your journey is yours alone, and that is your greatest gift. Embrace it, own it, become unstoppable.